Hi, Career Explorations class. Welcome to week 3 virtual learning. Last week you finished up the grocery project where you had to showcase what you've learned about budgeting for groceries based on the scenario that you were given. I will be grading those soon, but I thought I'd get this video out as fast as possible so you had plenty of time to work on your final project before Christmas break. And I also wanted to show you the final project for my class. We are coming to the end of the semester, and I want to make sure that you have the time to do these projects. So the first thing I want to go over is I created a class newsletter, and in that newsletter it talks about the following. So I'll open it up here. Um, I used this website for the first time and I really like it. It's called Wakelet. It's pretty easy to use and you can use it as kind of like, it's almost like Pinterest, but you can put things on here to keep and you can organize it a lot better. So instead of like getting craft ideas from other people, you create it yourself. So this is just kind of a brief review of what we did. So what we did this week is you finished Grocery Project 2, you learned how to use Flipgrid, you responded to at least one classmate's video, hopefully you started job shadowing, and then you filled out a job shadowing sheet. I also included the link to our Flipgrid so you can look at other people's responses. I also put in some upcoming due dates. We're going to wrap up the minimum wage project this week, which I'll go over next. And so that's due December 22nd. Then on January 5th, if you're doing the Christmas Fun Challenge, it's due by January 5th, since we have Christmas break. January 15th, your job shadowing logs are due if you job shadowed. If you didn't, don't freak out. If you did job shadow, it'll give you bonus points for your final presentation. January 20th and 21st is going to be the final presentation dates. I'm hoping that we are going to be in class to do this. So that's why I put those dates there. And January 21st, if I remember correctly, is the last day of classes. Looking ahead, we're going to go over your minimum wage project. I'm going to show you, well, I'm not going to show you, I'm going to show you a video that I used to figure out Wakelet. I'm going to go over your final project, so check over Google Classroom for more information. Here's your Christmas Design Challenge as an easy to access link. And this video will help you with your minimum wage project, which I'm going to jump to right now. So in Google Classroom, I put your final project for your minimum wage. So the couple things I want to show you here, it's in two parts. Whoops. So, come on, computer. There we go. Part one, you're going to fill out the worksheets right here, and you're going to kind of explore your learning and figure out, okay, can I really live off of minimum wage? A lot of you have said throughout the process, not really, but we're going to kind of wrap everything together. The worksheets are worth 20 points. Then for your part two, you are going to create a Wakelet page that answers all of the questions on the page that says final project, where it gives you options on creating a poster. Okay, so that's this document right here. So you're going to fill out this page. Something that you really have to pay attention that we didn't really get to talk about is taxes. Normally you should figure 30%, but because most of your scenarios were families, you can use 20%. If you're single, you're in the 30% tax bracket. So 30% of whatever I make ends up going towards taxes. Okay, so then you're going to figure out how much you would make on minimum wage and what your monthly take-home pay would be. And then you have to fill in the costs for all of these things. Now, some of them, they already give it to you, okay? And some you actually have to figure it out yourself, okay? Notice the double stars. That means non-negotiable. That means you have to have it in your actual cost in how much you're going to live off of. Now, for me, the internet, it would be a must-have because I work from home a lot. So, but the ones that are double starred, those are the ones that you have to make sure you budget for. Then it asks a bunch of questions, okay, pros and cons of living on your own. Would it be easier or harder than what you thought? Okay, so you just answer all of these questions. And then on this project page, these are the questions I'm talking about are right down here. I can't highlight them, but they're your beliefs about living on minimum wage before, during, and after completing the research. All of these things that we talked about living on a minimum wage should show up on your Wakelet. You can include tips and tricks that you learned, links to different websites, however you would like to do this project. Okay, and then you're going to post your link on our spreadsheet again. So I created another category on the spreadsheet, and you're going to put your link there once you've got your video put together again. Then the last part I want to talk to you about is your final project for this class. So your final project is going to be all about your job shadowing that you were doing. Some of you were not able to job shadow, so that meant that I had to come up with an alternative assignment for you. And I ended up liking it so much that all of us are going to do it, even if you job shadowed. If you job shadowed, it helped you do the research part of this a little bit easier because there's a lot of questions in this document. So you're going to research your chosen career and create a polished and well-informed Google slideshow presentation about it and someone working in that field. You need to have at least 3 articles and a works cited page that showcase your research that you've done for this career. You also have to include answers to the majority of these questions. There's 40 of them. But in order to fill out your actual slideshow presentation and do a good job on it, you're going to want to ask your person all of these questions. So if you don't have somebody that you job shadowed with, please ask if you could Zoom interview the person you wanted to job shadow with. Set up a time to Zoom with them and interview them and have them help you answer all of these questions so you can still learn about the job. That way, you still kind of get to experience it even though you don't get to experience it live. That's kind of the best we can do at this point. So you're going to Zoom with your person that you wanted to job shadow, and ask them all of these questions because you're going to use those questions in your presentation. So things to include: you should have a brief summary of your chosen career based on what you learned in the articles that you've read. Make sure that you have in-text citations. Make sure when you give the bullet points of your background and biography of your person you interviewed that you include a picture of them. Make sure they know it's for a school project. You should have slides about everyday expectations, things that you learned. Answering any of these questions is going to help you. The more you can answer, the better. Sometimes you can combine some of these questions into one, or you can choose just the ones that you wanted to make sure were the most important. If I were choosing, since I gave you 40 questions, you should have at minimum 20 of them. Half. I expect at least half of them answered in your actual, I don't know what this, in your actual project. Okay? Please make sure that you are following all directions. This project is not due until January 20th. I'm giving it to you with a full month to go because it's going to take a while and I want you to spend time with it and work on it. So after the minimum wage project, this is what we're going to focus on. So I hope everybody is doing well. So those are what we're working on kind of this week and for the rest of class. I will see you guys soon.